Hey everybody, it is me, Corrie Sommers, your local Los Angeles luxury realtor. Today, I just wanted to have a quick conversation with you, give you a little bit of an update on coronavirus and what's happening here in Los Angeles and how that's impacting things. So please stay tuned. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to click that link below and watch to the very end because I have a little special help tip for you. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm back, everybody. By now, you might be getting a little stir crazy, huh? We've been on this stay-at-home order for over 3 weeks, and here in Los Angeles, in the city of Los Angeles and Los Angeles County, earlier today, public officials are requesting that people continue to stay home this week. They're really asking, instead of going out to the grocery stores, if you can have things delivered, have them delivered. They're really trying to just kind of keep all of us from being out and about to slow the spread. That said, if you can have your food delivered, do that. If you are ordering, definitely have it delivered. Your groceries, have it delivered. And I know it's a challenge. I am super picky, and I waited an hour in line at Whole Foods and they were out of what I was looking for. And I've tried to order it online and I can't get it. It's very challenging. It's frustrating, but hang in there. Okay. Of course, if you've been out to grocery stores, you've seen that most grocery stores are really doing their part with social distancing, really keeping everybody a good 6 feet away from each other, controlling people going in and out of the grocery store, really trying to limit how many people are in the store at one time. Some grocery stores are really spraying down the carts and making sure they're super clean. Others are doing an okay job. This is not about who's better than who, but just we're seeing this, and it's not just here in Southern California. We're seeing this across the nation. People are really taking steps to be responsible, and that's a great thing. Now, if you're someone that is home and maybe not working because your job has, either temporarily laid you off or will let you go, you might be glued to the news. I'm not a big fan of this. I feel like the news is filled with negativity and it'll just bring you down. But what you are going to see is a rise in numbers of cases, people that are testing positive, as well as people that are dying, because this is kind of what they're predicting to start being that rise in deaths because the incubation period and all that kind of thing. That said, more people are being tested, so of course we're going to start seeing more cases. That's something to be expected. Don't allow fear to grip your heart. Just continue to do what you need to do. Stay safe, wash your hands, get some more vitamin C, whether that's from oranges, fruits, or supplements, whatever it is, get some vitamin C. And of course, wait to the very end of this video because I do have my own little remedy tip for you that is helpful with boosting your immunity. The other thing that I just really want to say is I know there's a lot of theories out there as to what's truly causing this, and I'm not trying to voice my opinions. This is not the platform to do so. But what I will say is this, the reality is we've become very advanced when it comes to technology, and technology does emit things. There's EMFs, there's a little bit of radiation from our cell phones, your TVs emit things, and really and truly, we should all be trying to have our home environments as clean and safe as possible. One thing that I do is I have salt lamps, and salt lamps are known for putting negative ions back into the space, which helps to combat some of the EMF stuff. But you can dig into this. This is what a great time to do some research and start educating yourself and finding out some things that can just make your quality of life better, that can help fight disease and things that weren't here 200 years ago or 1,000 years ago. We're living in a very technology-driven society, and there's always going to be some things that have to be ironed out that might be potentially harmless. And until those things are addressed and kind of worked out, it's just going to happen. And you know what? Technology is here to stay. And so do your best to get educated and protect yourself. So if you've watched the news or gone online, you know that there was a $2 trillion stimulus package that was passed. And of course, there's going to be things that have to be ironed out with that. But part of that too is the ability for small businesses to get loans and grants, the SBA. I personally have never gotten an SBA loan, so I can't really say a whole lot there, but there is a website, so go ahead and check that out if that's maybe an option for you if you're running a small business, if you have a couple of staff members, or if this is really impacting you, which of course this is impacting it's impacting all of us in some way, shape, or form. Even those who are considered essential. Realtors are considered essential. Grocery stores are considered essential. Restaurants are considered essential. By now, you know what that is, but that doesn't mean that we can run rampant, right? There's definitely some safety precautions and things in place. Also, this kind of leads me to something else. This is not the time to panic. Something that I just kind of want to bring up because I feel like people always forget this. And history has shown this to happen more than once. When things get really bad and people panic, people do some irrational things. And then the mob mentality kicks in. And so I just really want to say, this is not the time to completely freak out and run to the bank and pull all your money out. And the reason I say that is because most of us forget in 5th grade when we were taught about the banking system and government that banks only keep 10% of deposits on hand. 90% of your money is actually utilized by the bank and invested to make more money for the bank. This is why bankers are in business, to make money. And then they pass on just a little fraction of that to us. So don't panic. Don't try to run to the bank. Banks are insured by the FIDC. And if you actually have some time and go to their website, you'll see that after the last recession from 2009 to 2012, there was a lot of banks that went under. And then from that point on till last year, hardly any. Let's not repeat that by behaving out of fear. Stay calm. Things are going to iron out. We are all in the same boat. What about the stock market? The stock market has been like boom, 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 boom. I mean, I've literally watched my stock go ding, 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 ding. But it's actually kind of cool because if you have time and watch this, you can get out when stocks are up. Stock market was up today at the time of this recording, Monday. And you can buy back the stock when it's down because it is literally going like this. So that's something to think about. Maybe you can make some extra money there, a couple $100, a couple $1,000. It's not a bad move. The other thing is if you have a lot of time on your hand, right? Maybe you're not homeschooling. Maybe you're not working from home and you're just like, what am I doing? It can be so easy to fall into a real casual habit of maybe pajamas, yoga pants, not really doing anything, laying on the couch all day. Find something to be productive. There's probably projects around your home. What about that art project you wanted to do? What about organizing your closet, getting rid of some things? What about that book you wanted to write? I personally wanted to write a book or started to think about a book back in 2012. Didn't feel like it was time. And then almost 2 weeks ago, I really felt like this is the time. So I sat down and I did my rough draft. Now, I don't know what's going to come of it, but it felt like an accomplishment. So take some time and find something. Maybe set new goals. Assess things. Maybe learn a new skill. This is a great time for webinars. Or maybe you start to think about something else that you can do with your own business and generate more revenue. Take some time and focus on positive things that are going to help you get past this and help you recover quicker. What about taking this time to reconnect with people? Maybe a friend you haven't talked to in a while, past coworker. If you're in the service industry, reaching out to your past clients, maybe people who never became your client, not just to pursue business, but to see how they're doing. I mean, this is a scary time for everybody. Check in, like be sincere. Where are things at? Maybe there's a friend that you've had a falling out. Maybe you send them some information on coronavirus and then they block you on social media. Maybe it's time to just accept that some things have run their course. Perhaps there's someone in your family or a friend or a loved one that you've reached out to, you've called, you've texted, you've emailed, you've sent a note, and they're simply ignoring you. They're not calling you back. They're not texting you back. They're not responding to you. Maybe it's time to just accept that they don't want you in their life. Take this time to heal. I mean, what a great time to heal. We can't really go anywhere and do much. If you got to scream, if you've got to read a book, if you've got to watch something, if you've got to take a bath, whatever you need to do, take some time for yourself to just realign and heal. This is also time for us to draw closer in a community. If you live in a condo development, if you live in a small subdivision, if you live on a cul-de-sac, if you live on a small street, like what a time to really draw together and be there for one another. I've said this before, next door is a great place to connect with your neighbors. I personally help out a couple that are older 60. I, do some of their shopping for them where I can. And, it's just, let's be there for one another, okay? take that moment. We're all in this together. No man is an island. Now, I know the question that most of you are thinking and why you're actually watching this. How is this affecting real estate? That's what's on your mind, isn't it? Well, of course it's affecting things. The impact is yet to be seen, but it's certainly changing the way we do business. Furthermore, here's the harsh reality, or maybe not so harsh reality, but here's the reality. People that need to sell their home still need to sell their home. And people that need to buy still need to buy. And people who need to lease because they need a roof over their head still need a roof over their head. Right now, we are hibernating in our homes. Now more than ever, we're realizing how important that space is, how important it is for our health, our sanity, our safety, our comfort. Maybe this time is making you say, we need a smaller home. We don't need this much space. Or maybe it's making you say, you know what, when all of this is done, we need a bigger home. Whatever it is, home is our haven, right? And we always need a roof over our head. So even though this is happening, real estate is still selling. And I'm going to do a video about how business is changing in real estate so that you understand the landscape today in coronavirus, but also something to be aware of here in Los Angeles. We still have listings coming to market. And just to give you an example, like this is a small market segment in Toluca Lake, Studio City, Santa Monica, Encino, and Sherman Oaks. Just today, there were 40 new listings. Wow. And just this month alone, there's projected to be 300 closings. So things are still happening. And if you're not sure if you should sell your home right now or if you should buy, talk to someone. Talk to your realtor, and if you don't have one, feel free to reach out. I am happy to talk to anyone. We can talk directly. We can do a Zoom call. We can do FaceTime, whatever it is. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I will give you my honest opinion. And quite frankly, that's what I do. I have a client that's wanted to lease a property that was almost $9,000 a month. And we've had a talk since all this came about. And I said, look, I know that your income is secure, but why not save some money? Let's shift over a couple of cities and let's get you a similar property for $6,000. And that's what we're doing. Now, granted, again, there's some restrictions on how we're going about this, but that's what we're doing. I am not a doctor. I never pretend to be. But about 2 years ago, I started to do something that has definitely helped me. And when I say it's helped me with sinus issues. It has helped me to not catch a cold. I haven't caught a cold in 2 years. And it's just really in general helped. So here's the thing. Every morning I boil hot water. And what I do, I need to give you some of the prep. First of all, I take a lemon. I freeze the lemon. You'll see some freeze on it, right? Once it's frozen, I take a cheese grate and I grate this down. And I take all of that and then I put it in a baggie and I put this back in the freezer. So it's little chunks of lemon. So every morning I take some of the little chunk of lemon, put it in a cup with hot water and a couple pieces of ginger. So I take some ginger, chop it up into little pieces, put it in a little bottle, a little glass jar. Actually, it's the best way and safest way. Put that in the fridge, take a couple pieces. So I've got a little chunk of my lemon, a couple slices of ginger, and then I take apple cider vinegar. I know this show's backwards, so you probably don't see, but Bragg's apple cider vinegar is actually the best. So I do I now eyeball it, so it's a bit of a splash, but I don't do more than a tablespoon because it is quite bitter, and if you're not used to it, it can really be harsh on you. And then I get some local organic honey. Now the reason for local organic, which I happen to pick up at the farmer's market, is because the local bees are pollinating everything around us. So if you're someone like me that tends to have allergies, especially in the spring, you're getting some of those, I don't even know what the word is. I don't want to say the wrong word, but you're building up your immune system to have a resistance to it. So instead of having a reaction, your body's actually having a resistance to it. So these little things, we all need to, be mindful. How can we stay healthy in this time? Have lots of vitamin C, have more in your diet, be safe, etc. Try this. This is actually pretty awesome. And it has some other benefits too. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please go ahead and do so, and I will see you next time.